Hey there, Jon Chorba here from ReallyEasyGuitarLessons.com, and in this video lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play an easy strummy version of A Few More Miles by Frank Foster. This was a request by subscriber to the channel, Michelle Mangano. Hopefully I'm not butchering your name or your screen name too bad, but this was request, so the floor is always open for requests. I'm always looking for what kind of content to create. I exist to make you a better guitar player and to teach you the things that you want to learn. And sometimes I just completely run out of ideas. So please yell at me in the comments, tell me what you want to learn. So I had never heard this song ever before in my life until it was requested. I looked it up. It's really great for the beginner that's learning strummy versions of songs. Only 4 chords in the whole thing. There is a bar chord, but we don't really have to play it as a bar chord, and it's only in one little part of the song. So you can get away with playing this whole song with really just 3 main chords, a little bar chord in the solo section, which I will show you when we get to it. So let's jump in and get started learning A Few More Miles. All right, first let's take a look at the chords we are gonna use in this song. So we're gonna do a D, so actually, let me back it up a second. First, we're gonna put a capo on the 1st fret, okay? So we've got a capo on the 1st fret. Everything that I talk about is in relationship to the capo. And we are gonna use the following chords: D, open D string, 2nd fret G, 3rd fret B, 2nd fret E, play from the D string down. We are also going to use a G, which you can do at least 2 different ways. I'm probably going to play it like this. So 3rd fret E, again, all of this is relative to the capo. So I'm really on the 4th fret, but it's the 3rd fret relative to the capo. 3rd fret E with my middle finger, 2nd fret A with my index finger, open D, open G, 3rd fret B, 3rd fret E. You could also play this, get rid of your pinky finger and then move your ring finger to the E string and have the B string open. To my ear, it sounds like this version of the G is gonna sound better for the song, but if you wanna play this one, it's totally fine and acceptable. They're both a G chord, it's just a different way to play them. And then we have an A, which I'm gonna play as a 1-finger bar. Open A string, 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G, 2nd fret B, not playing either E string. But if you want to scrunch your fingers into that 2nd fret, you could absolutely do that. Open A, 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G, 2nd fret B, and then now here we have the open E. Again, I'm going to play it more this way, but if you want to go ahead and do the A like that, I don't care. It's your life. You can do whatever you want to do. They both work. As long as it sounds good, it's all that matters. And then the last chord in this, that's not really a bar chord in this case because you don't really have to bar. So it's a B minor, 2nd fret of the A string. Use your index finger on that. Ring finger on the D string of the 4th fret. Pinky finger on the G string of the 4th fret. Again, 4th fret relative to the capo. I'm really on the 3rd and 5th fret here, but it's relative to the capo. And then your middle finger on the B string on what would be the 3rd fret. Now you could just get away with that, right? You just play each of those notes and that's it. If you want to bar it, you could lay your finger down and also get the high E string, but it's not critical. If you just play those 4 strings, A string to the B string, you can let the E string be muted, just don't play the low E string. That will be fine. If you want to be fancy schmancy and do a full bar chord, that will work too. All right, but there's only 4 chords in the whole song: D, G, A, and B minor. All right, breaking down the chord progressions in the song. First, intro, very easy. You're just going to be hanging on a D chord for 4 measures. All right, so just hanging on a D for 4 measures. A measure in this case is 4 beats. This song the tempo is 73 beats per minute. Okay, so 4 beats is 1 measure, 4 measures for the intro. And then we get into the verse, and the verse we're going to have D for a measure, and then we got a split measure of G and D, and that split measure, G's on beat 1 and D is on the and of 2. All of the split measures in the song the second chord is going to be on the and of 2. So what's the and of 2? Okay, well, I said there's 4 beats in a measure. So if you're counting quarter notes, you would count 1, 2, 3, 4. But in this case, we don't really want to count quarter notes. We want to count eighth notes, which would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the and of 2 is what's happening right in the middle of beat 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? So for the verse, we have to start with a measure of D. 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and repeat that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we go to an A for a measure 3, 4 and then we'll repeat all of that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then right at the end of the verse, we're going to do another split measure. This time it's G to A. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then a measure of D, okay? So I'm going to go through the song right now. I have the isolated vocal and a metronome, and I'm going to do what I call chord placing, which is just putting the chords where they belong in the timeline. 2, 3, 4.
How long can I go on? How much farther can I go? Ain't these old boots ain't enough of this old road.
2 and 3 and 4.
Oh, 'cause lately I've been leaning more toward home and that boy child, and letting my old head hang for a little while.
2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2.
But for now I got to keep on running.
2 and 3 and 4. So like I tell all beginners, chord changing is going to be the thing that holds everybody back from being able to do anything. So look at any of these chord changes, whether it's D to G or G to A, and especially when we get into the solo, going into the B minor, focus on any of the chord changes that give you the most amount of problems and practice the hell out of them to get better at them. You can't practice chord changing enough. Prioritize it in your practicing and your whole guitar playing will thank you. All right, now let's talk about the strumming pattern. We're gonna have one strumming pattern throughout the entire song. It's not that hard, but it could be a little confusing when you're on the newer side. So it's kind of like a 16th note-esque strumming pattern. We're using some 8th notes and 16th notes. Let me just play it with a metronome so you could hear what it's gonna, just the strumming pattern alone, what it's gonna sound like. Down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, up, get da, da. So you want to get that rhythm in your ear. Ba, get da, da, get da, 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 get ba, get da, da, ba, da, da, da. And what's actually happening here, we're going down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. Down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. 1, a 2, and E and 4, and a 1, a 2, and E and 4, and notice that the entire time, my hand is always moving in a down-up motion. It's just sometimes I'm hitting the strings, sometimes I'm not, okay? So usually what happens is when you're trying to miss on a downstroke, the beginner's hand wants to get locked out right here. Keep your hand nice and loose and make sure that it's always making this down-up motion. Down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. Down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, okay? And so if we look at that in terms of adding the chords to it, your first D, okay, one cycle of the pattern equals one measure. So on that D chord, where it's last a measure, you're just doing the pattern one time. And then when it changes to the split measure, okay, we have 1, a 2, and 1, a 2, and. So that third downstroke, da, 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 right there. That's the and of 2, and that's when you want to change chords. Here, I'll go ahead and do that with the vocal.
How long can I go on? How much farther can I go? Ain't these old boots ain't enough of this old road. Oh, 'cause lately I've been leaning more toward home and that boy child, and letting my old head hang for a little while. But for now I got to keep on running.
All right, the next section of the song that we have is the chorus, which is really just kind of like the end, what you play at the end of the verse. You have the split measure of G on beat 1, A on the end of 2, and then a measure of D. And then you do G on beat 1, A on the end of 2, and then D on beat 1, G on the end of 2. Reverse what you were doing before, A on beat 1, G on the end of 2, and then D. Okay, so we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay, and then just we're gonna do the same strumming pattern that we did in the verse. Remember that last one measure, and on those split measures, it's on that third downstroke. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play along with the chorus with strumming.
Fill this old world with all I can. And between now and when I'm long gone, put on for down home. Put a few more miles on a music man.
All right, and then we have a little guitar solo, little solo section of the song. And for here, the chords are gonna be B minor to G. Again, split measure where that G's on the end of 2. 1 and 2 and 3. So that's gonna be a tricky change. I would focus on just practicing that a lot. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we get another split, A to D this time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to B minor G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then a measure of A. So the whole thing is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and when you add the strumming to it, you get this. And then that whole progression goes twice for the solo. And then you have the second chorus, the other part of the song is the second chorus, which is really the same as the first. The only thing that is different is that the last two measures, the A to G, and then the D, you repeat that, okay? So you repeat it again, and then you're hanging on that D measure for an extra, you're hanging on that D for an extra measure at the end of the song. I'll go ahead and play along with the second chorus.
Fill this old world with all I can. Between now and when I'm long gone, put on down home and put a few more miles on a music man. Put a few more miles on a music man.
And then the song structure, we have the intro, which again, you're just hanging on a D chord. For 4 measures for the intro, you do your first verse. Second verse is the same as the first. Then you have your first chorus. Do your solo 2 times. Your third verse is the same as the first 2. And then your second chorus, as I just described, it's the same as the first. You just repeat the last little line of the song, and that's it. All right, like with all really easy strummy versions of songs, you want to follow the same process. Make sure that you know how to play the chords first. Isolate any difficult chord changes and practice the hell out of them. Again, I can't say it enough. Practicing chord changes is really where you want to put most of your focus when you are practicing, because the sooner you get them down, the easier it is to learn thousands and thousands of songs, okay? And then work on doing what I call the chord placing, putting the chords in the right order in the timeline. You can practice the strumming in isolation, and then when you bring your two hands together, always watch out for that gap of doom. You want your hands to be in sync. You do not want your right hand to stop to catch up to your left hand. If that's happening, that means you need to work on your chord changes more. All right, that's it for this video lesson. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any more requests, please hit me up in the comments. I'd be happy to entertain any requests that you have within reason, of course. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.